Governor Bello Matawale presents a letter of appointment to the principal officers of Zamfara State University to Latin Masara. Nigeria confirmed 496 new cases as total rises to 1,728. Buhari government demands bank account statements of Goodluck Jonathan and patients. From business, Shell cut dividends for first time since 1940s as oil demand collapses. And on the international scene, Guinea-Bissau Prime Minister, senior officials test positive for COVID-19. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. My name is Samira Ibrahim. Now the news in full. The Executive Governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Bello Muhammad Matawale Maradon, on Wednesday presented letters of appointment to the newly appointed principal officers of Zamfara State University, Talata Mafara. Those presented with the appointment letters include the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Ma'azu Abubakar Gusau, the Registrar Bashiru Sama'ila Mafara, and Basa Usman Muhammad Bello Bungudu. At a brief ceremony, Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale Maradon expressed his administration's commitment to ensure the attainment of the academic excellence of the university. Governor Matawale informed them that their appointment was based on their track record, hence the need for them to ensure that the academic competence of the university is achieved so that the new Zamfara State University can compete favorably with any university in the Federation. While congratulating the Vice Chancellor, Registrar and Bossa of the university, Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale Maradon said his administration will do everything humanly possible to provide all the needed facilities and logistics for the effective take-up of the academic activities and other administrative purposes of the university. Earlier, the Special Advisor on Higher Education, Alhaji Abdullahi Muhammad Gurbin Bore, said with coming on board of Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale's administration, the governor placed special emphasis on how best to continue with the academic activities of the university in Talata Mafara. Responding, the Vice Chancellor of the University, Talata Mafara, Professor Ma'azu Abubakar Gusau, thanked the governor for finding them worthy of the appointment and assured to take the university system with best practices. Osun State government on Wednesday raised the alarm over the influx of Zamfara indigents into the state. The Deputy Chief of Staff to the Governor, Adeboyega Oyetola, Prince Adeyanju Abdullah Binayu, who described this in an interview, said the government was aware of the influx, but urged the residents not to panic as adequate security measures have been put in place to arrest the situation. Mr. Binayo said that all northern youths who had escaped into the state by hiding in trucks carrying essential goods had been tracked down by the government and will be sent back to their home states. He said the government has mandated the Amotekun Corps to man the entry point and ensure that all trucks bringing essential goods into the state are properly checked and monitored till they upload their goods and immediately escort them out of the state. Government is aware of the huge influx of non-Osun residents into the state, especially from Zamfara. They were coming majorly through the Ondo axis, accompanying trucks that are carrying food materials purportedly to be sold around the southwest. The Kebbi State Governor, Senator Atiku Abubakar Bagudu, has graciously approved the sum of 2.4 billion naira for the immediate payment of gratuities to retired state civil servants, local government and local government education authorities retirees. This is contained in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Abubakar Umar Duz Mari, on Wednesday, April 29, 2020. According to the statement, the retirees with a balance of 500,000 naira and below will be paid 100%, while others with more than the amount stated above will be paid on percentage basis. It further stated that subsequent payments will continue as soon as the financial situation of the state improves. Nigeria recorded 196 cases of coronavirus, its highest daily figure since the first case was recorded in February. Before Wednesday's case, the highest daily figure was 195 recorded on Tuesday. The country also recorded 7 deaths from the disease on Wednesday, bringing the total number of deaths to 51 from 44 on Tuesday. These details were provided late Wednesday night by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) on its Twitter handle. 196 new cases of COVID-19 reported: 87 Lagos, 24 Kano, 18 Gombe, 17 Kaduna, 16 FCT, 10 Kano, 8 Sokoto, 7 Edo, 6 Borno, 1 Yobe, 1 Ebonyi, and 1 Adamawa. The 196 cases on Wednesday bring the total number of coronavirus cases in the country to 1,728, including 307 patients who have been discharged after recovery and the 51 deaths. One new state, Yobe, has reported a case for the first time since the beginning of the outbreak in February, bringing to 34 the state in Nigeria with at least a case of the disease. A breakdown of all the 1,728 cases shows that Lagos State has so far reported 931 cases, followed by FCT 174, Kano 139, Borno 59, Gombe 64, Ogun 50, Oshun 34, Katsina 40, Akwa Ibom 12, Kwara 11, Ekiti, Taraba and Ondo 8, Delta and Rivers 7, Enugu 3, Jigawa 7, Niger 2, Ebonyi 2, Adamawa 2, Abia 2, and Zamfara 4. Benue, Adamawa, Plateau, Bayelsa, Kebbi, Nasarawa, Yobe and Imo have 1 case each. The governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has stated that the Almajiris deported from Kano State last week brought 21 cases of COVID-19 to the state. Speaking on Arise Television, the broadcast arm of this day newspaper Wednesday, he said when the state took delivery of 148 Almajiris from Kano, it kept them in a holding facility where tests were conducted on 8 of them with symptoms, adding that 5 tested positive to the disease. He said this morning 16 more of the Almajiris tested positive to it, and we have now kept them in an isolation center where they are being managed. Worried by the price hikes of essential commodities in the state during Ramadan fasting period and the hardship caused by the deadly COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State met with market leaders with the view to finding solutions to that. The meeting was held at Africa House, Government House, Kano, Wednesday evening, promising the business communities that he will do his best to come to their aid after voicing out the hardship they too faced before and during this trying moment. The governor passed to them complaints by citizens over the multiple hardship they faced in price hikes of essential commodities during this Ramadan period and the trying moment in the face of COVID-19 in Nigeria. The Nigerian government has requested for the account statement of former President Goodluck Jonathan, his web patient, Dizani Aliso Maduke, a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, and Relwani Lukman, according to Bloomberg. Bloomberg reports that the bank told to provide the bank details of Jonathan and others, including Citigroup, JP Morgan, Chase, and New York branches of Deutsche Bank AG and United Bank for Africa PLC. Nigeria is requesting all documents concerning any transactions to form or for the benefit of Jonathan and his wife between 2009 and the present day. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, was quoted by a court document as saying that information contained in the document will help an ongoing investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to know individuals in the process and Industrial Development Limited gas deal. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) on Wednesday asked the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, to stop plans to slash 25% from the salaries of civil servants earning above 67,000 naira. NLC Chairman Comrade Ayuba Suleiman said this during a press briefing in the state. Comrade Suleiman said, sequel to the deductions of 25% on the salary of all civil servants in Kaduna State, effective from April 2020, Labour in Kaduna State unequivocally rejects this reduction. This is because the union was not consulted on the issue nor consented to the deduction. The federal government has said the gradual easing of the restrictions imposed to curtail the spread of the novel coronavirus COVID-19 meant that all Nigerians must begin to take personal responsibility for the fight henceforth. Secretary to the Government of the Federation (SGF) and Chairman of the Presidential Task Force (PTF) on COVID-19 pandemic, Boss Mustapha, said this during Tuesday's daily media briefing by the task force in Abuja. According to Mustapha, the success of Nigeria's national response efforts against COVID-19 will now depend largely on the personal and collective response of Nigerians, whom he said need to start taking responsibility for their actions from now on, especially as it concerns the COVID-19 fight. It is very important that we acknowledge the fact that the next phase we are going into is a very serious one. It's a phase of personal responsibility, and each and every one of us will have to take this personal responsibility. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the implementation of the Svtv Oransanye Committee report on the rationalization of government agencies. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, disclosed this while appearing on the Channel TV program Politics Today, monitored by The Punch. The Presidential Committee on the Rationalization and Restructuring of Federal Government Parastatals, Commissions and Agencies, now commonly referred to as Oransanye Committee, was set up by the Goodluck Jonathan administration. The committee, inaugurated in August 2011, submitted its report the following year, recommending the merger, conversion and scrapping of many agencies. While describing the cost of governance in Nigeria as one of the highest in the world, the committee had recommended a reduction in the number of statutory agencies from 263 to 161. Mrs. Ahmad said the federal government has started to address the issue of high cost of governance by implementing the report. The First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has donated both food and medical equipment, including drugs, to the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Federal Medical Center, Abuja, in continuation of her intervention towards curbing the spread of COVID-19. She made the presentation on Wednesday, the 29th of April 2020, through Dr. Haju Sani, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Women Affairs and Administration. The medical items include large quantities of hand sanitizers and personal protection equipment, including disposable gowns, overalls, 95 surgical masks and gloves. The Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talen, received the items on behalf of her ministry, while the Chief Medical Director, CMD, Professor Saad Ahmed, represented the Federal Medical Center. They appreciated the gesture of the First Lady and promised to deliver the items to the expected recipients. Although more new infections are being detected in the country, the federal government on Monday eased the lockdown measures, which had been in place in 3 cities, Abuja, Ogun, and FCT. Instead, the government adopted other measures to contain the spread of the disease in the country. The ease is expected to commence next Monday, May 4th, and will be done in pace for the next 6 weeks. The Director General NCDC, Chikwe Ehekwezu, said it is critical for Nigerians to adhere to these measures to prevent COVID-19 spread. The new measures are daily curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., mandatory use of face masks, ban on social and religious gatherings, and restricted interstate movements. He urged Nigerians to also observe physical distancing, as it is an effective way to limit the spread of COVID-19 in the country. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Coronavirus or COVID-19, the most recent outbreak that has turned to be a global pandemic. Watch how it easily and quickly spreads among humans.
that you can save your life and save the lives of many others by keeping yourself and your environment clean. As part of your civic responsibilities, you should help the government to maintain a clean environment in its determined effort to prevent any outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 in the states. For your own safety, you should ensure regular washing of your hands with soap under running water or use sanitizer. Avoid body contact and avoid big gathering of people. In case you notice any symptoms of coronavirus, like difficulties in breathing, high body temperature, running nose, feverish condition, you should immediately contact any member of the contact committee on the outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 on the following numbers: 081 65 40 86 96, 081 05 00 988, or 080 63 03 53 85. A stitch in time, they say, saves life.
This message is from Standard Voice Television, Svtv, South Zamfara State, Nigeria.
Welcome back on Business. Over to Agwai Rita.
Welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. Riyadh Dutch Shell cut its dividend for the first time in 80 years and suspended the next tranche of its share buyback program following the collapse in global oil demand due to the coronavirus pandemic. Chief Executive Ben van Breden said this in a statement issued on Thursday in London. Given the continued deterioration in the macroeconomic outlook and the significant mid- and long-term uncertainty, we are taking further prudent steps to bolster our resiliency, underpin the strength of our balance sheet, and support the long-term value creation of Shell. Starting in the first quarter, Shell will reduce its quarterly dividend to 60% share from 57 cents in the previous quarters. For decades, Shell has taken pride in having never cut its dividend since the Second World War, resisting such a move even during the deep downturns of the 1980s. Shell's first quarter net income attributable to shareholders based on a current cost of supplies (CCCS) and excluding identified item fell 46% from a year earlier to $2.9 billion, above the censor in an analyst survey provided by the company. Shell's fourth quarter net income was also $2.9 billion. The company said it cut activity as its refueling business by up to 40% in response to demand shock. And that is on Standard Voice Business Update. I'm Agwai Rita.
And on the international scene, Prime Minister Nuno Nabian of Guinea-Bissau and several other senior officials have tested positive for COVID-19, the respiratory disease caused by the novel coronavirus, the Lusa news agency reported on Wednesday. Nabian and at least 3 other members of his government are infected, Lusa quoted Health Minister Antonio Diuna as saying in a television address. A government source told Lusa that the other infected officials are Interior Minister Boche Kande and 2 Secretaries of State, Mario Fampe and Monica Boaro. The cases are related to a senior Interior Ministry official who has died, Lusa reported. Guinea-Bissau had recorded 73 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 1 death by Wednesday, according to the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Still on the international scene, coronavirus lockdown could lead to millions of unintended pregnancies. The data also reveals that 47 million women may lose access to contraceptives if the coronavirus lockdown carried on for 6 months. A new data by the United Nations had revealed that with the ongoing lockdown and major disruptions to health services during the COVID-19 pandemic, there could be about 7 million unintended pregnancies in the coming months. The data released on Tuesday by the UN Population Fund and partners established that the number of women unable to access family planning or facing unintended pregnancies, gender-based violence and other harmful practices could skyrocket by millions. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale presents letter of appointment to the principal officer of Zamfara State University, Nigeria confirms 196 new cases as total rises to 1,728. Buhari government demands bank account statement of Goodluck Jonathan on business. Shell cost dividend for the first time since 1940s as oil demand collapses. And on the international scene, Guinea-Bissau Prime Minister, senior officials, just politics for COVID-19. That's the news. On behalf of the production team, head of news and current affairs,